Hello, hello. The topic of today is sparked from a question I received this weekend, actually, when someone asked me, how do I accept my body and how do I get over negative self talk when I hate my body? And not only is this something I experienced, but this comes up a lot in the realm of healing, whether someone's been really gaining a lot of weight really fast ever since they started adding in more pro metabolic approaches, or the other extreme, not able to gain weight and living in kind of an emaciated body and feeling overwhelmed by what it feels like to be in a body that's either way too big, something you've decided, by the way, or a body that feels way too small. And there are layers to this. So much of this is societal conditioning that to be healthy, to be attractive, you have to look a certain way. And it's definitely warps the stories in our head because we start to lose sight of what actually makes someone attractive. It's so much more about their vitality and their energy and the way they show up with kindness and generosity. But I get it. It's easy to kind of narrow focus and have these stories start running about and kind of making us hate the meat suit that we live in, and we forget that our bodies are actually not only trying the best that they can to keep us alive, and it's not like they have an agenda against us when they're either gaining weight really fast, losing weight, losing hair, developing acne. So just to preface what this tapping will be about today, the goal again is not to bright side and force you to pretend to love your body when you don't. It's to start to change the narrative and to start to change the story just the littlest bit so you can at least feel a sense of peace in your body and start to feel at home, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what it can or can't do. And in that process, find ways to start to embody this kind of acceptance of where you're at. Because I know it's easy to think that you'll be happy when you have a body that looks like this. You'll be happy when your skin clears up and you start to lose weight and lose the cellulite. But what I am asking with this question and with this tapping scenario is to start to think about the idea of what it would look like for you to accept your body right now, knowing that it's doing its best for you, and with the added caveat of what if this were your last day to live in this body? How would you show up for not only yourself, but your loved ones then? So, if you've been following along, great. If this is your first time tapping with me, wonderful. Basically, we'll be tapping different pressure points, acupressure points, while exposing yourself to certain thoughts and then trying to gently shift them. And why I love this technique so much is that your body does not lie. You know right away whether it's working or whether it's not, based off of the way your physiology changes and based off of the way you feel, in terms of maybe noticing yourself feeling more relaxed, noticing yourself feeling more at peace with these stories that seem to run the show. So, it's hot in here, but here we go. Following after me and starting with tapping the side of the hand. And when I tap down here again, I'm tapping kind of like the under the breast if you're wearing a bra, like right on the bra line. So, even though I hate my body and I'm so frustrated that I've gained so much weight, or the fact that I couldn't gain any weight, and it doesn't feel like this is my body, even with those thoughts, I fully love and accept myself. And even though I'm really distracted by this body, constantly wishing it were better, that I had more energy in it, that this cellulite would clear up, even with all of these stories, I'm learning to love and accept myself. accept my body for where I'm at right now. Top of the head. Because all of these stories about my body, they take up a lot of space. I notice myself thinking how much weight I've gained around my belly, how since I started eating this way, I put on so much weight, or how many years it's been of trying to get healthier, and I'm so underweight. I kind of look like an alien. And I'm stressed out because I notice when I think about my body, the way it looks, how I used to be so much stronger, but now I'm just so fatigued. I feel weak. And I'm upset with my body because I see all these healthy people around me doing whatever they want, eating whatever they want. And sometimes I even get jealous. I want my body to hurry up and heal. I just want to be able to eat food and move on, instead of gaining all of this weight. I'm still getting acne, I'm still getting bloated. And I forgot to even mention my hair's still falling out. And I'm so sick and tired of this. But I'm ready to release this. I'm ready to change the way I think. I think about my body. The way I think about its function. And I'm ready to learn to start accepting myself. Because I'm so done hating my body. I know what that feels like. And it's distracting. It's distracting to live in a body that I hate. So I'm ready to release that too. I've practiced hating my body for long enough. And I'm ready to at least learn to like my body. Because this whole time I've been hating it, I've forgotten to remember that my body is freaking incredible. My 37 trillion cells constantly working in my favor to keep me alive, metabolizing my food so that I can keep doing, so that I can keep going. In this process of hating my body, all of these flabby parts, these cellulite parts, my acne and rashes, my reactions and bloating, I've forgotten to remember that my cells are listening. And I know what it feels like to hate my body. But I also know what it feels like when I speak to my body as if it were my best friend. I notice this softness coming over me. I notice I can relax my belly. And when I start to change my metric and appreciate my body for how hard it's working, I realize it's an honor. It's a privilege to live in this body. Because these standards of beauty, those are someone else's story. And if beauty means a lack of function, a lack of joy, a lack of energy, a lack of period, and constantly thinking about food, if I'll gain weight, if this will cause me to break out. I am done with that. I'm ready to embrace and honor my body. This privilege of living in this body so that I get to experience this world, so that I get to experience the wonders, the pain, the joy, the sadness, the extreme beauty, those moments of peacefulness, all of the range of human emotions that I get to experience because of this body. So I'm going to change my metric. I'm going to start thanking my body for how hard it's working and for what it allows me to experience. Because I'm ready to live from a place of feeling nourished. I'm ready to enjoy where I'm at. And I'm ready to lead by example. Because when I show others that I can love my body, regardless of what it looks like, no matter what it can or cannot do, that allows them the safety and freedom to also make that choice. Because I know my body's been through a lot. It's changed over the years. It shows. And I can start to wear these scars, these imperfections, as badges of honor. I can start to really thank myself and celebrate my body by slowing down enough to nourish it. And that even when these thoughts come, that I wish my body looked different, that I wish my body worked differently, I use those as a signal to soften, as a reminder to thank my body, because I'm ready to start treating my body like it's my best friend, to really start trusting myself, start enjoying my food more, and then thinking beyond what I'm eating. Because the real point of all of this is to live a life that feels meaningful. And I know what that feels like. I have evidence of these moments where I feel connected. I feel creative. And I'm so busy feeling beautiful that I've forgotten to remember what the heck I look like. So slowly, I'm learning to accept my body. And whenever those thoughts sneak back in, where I'm focusing on my weight gain, my weight loss, the acne, my stretch marks, my bloating, my big belly, all the cellulite, all my scars, my thinning hair, I smile and soften because I know what this feels like to hate my body, and I'm ready to learn to change. I'm ready to step into this version of myself that's so focused on having fun, getting lost in this dance of life, and feeling so much stronger and healthier than I ever have. And I'm learning to find freedom in this, a sense of peacefulness, a sense of peacefulness and joy, changing the story I've been playing out, changing the imprint on my cells as I thank my body, as I learn to like my body, to honor it for the effort it puts in every single moment. And eventually, maybe I'll even learn to love my body, no matter what it looks like, but so much more based off of how I feel. My capacity to love, my capacity to play and be present. I'm ready to step into this version of me that can enjoy life with this current body as I enjoy the healing process, as I let life unfold and let my body take the time that it needs as I slowly heal and turn up the joy, turn up the excitement, turn up the fun, so that in this process, I forget to measure my body. I'm so busy enjoying myself, and that takes up my entire mental landscape. Give yourself a big squeeze right on the wrist and take a deep breath in and hold at the top. And then slowly breathe out through the nose, as slow as you can manage as you release your grip. So I'll leave you with the closing question of inviting in the idea, less of a question, more of a concept, I guess, but starting to get curious about the idea of what kind of relationship do you want to have with your body? And what would it look like to at least start to befriend your body and honor it? Again, this isn't about what size it is, what textures it has, what it's dealing with in the gut, what it's been through. This is so much more about this present moment. What kind of narrative do you want to play out? So, very curious how this all landed with you, no matter where you are on the spectrum of feeling out of place or not at home in your body. Hope this brings you a little bit of a sense of peacefulness with what you're working on right now, and knowing that wherever you're at is such a wonderful place to be. This richness, whatever you're experiencing in your human form, as you start to shift your stories and whatever you're working on, whatever you're pulling up, whatever gunk is coming to the surface, I congratulate you for doing what you're doing, and I'll leave it there for today.
Some scrub, Jay. We've got some planks, some learning, got some videos, some slippers.